Hey everyone, this is Kendall with 1043thefan.com, and I'm here with DU head coach David Carle. Thank you so much for joining us. You're kind of our first webcam interview, so I really appreciate you being here with us today.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to be the guinea pig.
So you guys were number 6 in the country, team one, before you guys heard the news that you were done playing for the season. What was kind of your reaction when you found out that you would not be able to finish?
Yeah, it was, it was kind of a hectic 24 hours. I think that Wednesday night, we saw that the NBA shut down, and then, we came into the rink that Thursday. That morning, we canceled our conference tournament, and, we decided to go out to practice that day. Came back from practice and learned that the NCAA had shut down all championships for winter and spring sports. And so, it was a lot of emotions, certainly for our older players, our seniors who, came in their freshman year, they won a championship, and in year 4, they were hoping to do the same thing and didn't get that opportunity. So I think it's, with everything, as time passes, perspective is allowed to come into play. And as you see what's happened in our country in the last 3.5, 4 weeks, it was obviously the right decision to do what we did. And I think, there's an immense amount of, gratitude toward our healthcare professionals and everything that they're doing now. And to see our country and our communities come together as they are has been pretty inspiring to see. And although it sucks that our season ended, at the end of the day, there's a lot bigger things in life than sport.
And the NCAA granted, another year of eligibility for seniors in the spring sports, but how does that affect you guys? Your seniors do not get to do that, correct?
That's correct, yeah. So winter sport athletes, they determined had played enough of their sport or their season to be able to not garner a 5th year of competition. So for us, it doesn't help, but for our men's and women's lacrosse team, our men's and women's tennis, men's and women's golf, they certainly in our department has some decisions to make regarding our spring sport athletes that were affected by that rule.
What was your message to your seniors? Right now, we're doing senior spotlights, and we're spotlighting high school seniors on 104.3 The Fan that weren't able to finish their seasons. But what was your message to your seniors when you figured out that they would not be able to kind of finish their season?
I don't know if any message really helps in that moment. There was a lot of emotion, from our team and for them. And I think you try and lend your support to them and let them know how much you care about them. And at the end of the day, we're thankful for the 3, almost 4 years that they put into our program. And, you try and celebrate those things, and they do leave as national champions. And they were at our program over a 4-year stretch where there was a lot of turnover with pro signings. We had one summer we lost 5 underclassmen, and they were able to help keep the ship stabilized. Obviously, Monty left, I took over. Those 4 guys went through a lot with our program and saw it through some rocky seas, but never. The program never wavered. It was a top 10, top 5 program during their whole 4 years, and that's a lot for them to be proud of with the changes that happened in their time.
And how are you utilizing this time right now? Obviously, we're all at stay-at-home orders, but what are you doing right now in regards to, recruits that you've gotten to come to you and preparing for this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think, again, like I said, we're doing a lot of what everybody else does. We're watching the news, we're seeing where this thing kind of goes. As far as our day-to-day, we had all of our year-end meetings with our returning players, did that via FaceTime, and now we're moving into our spring regular activities, I should say, where we're getting ready for our conference meetings to do virtually. We're starting to watch NHL games from the year to try and pick and pull things away from NHL teams that we think can help our game. And then on the recruiting front, we're talking to all of our kids that are verbally committed to us, making sure that their families are safe and okay. And obviously for the kids coming next year, getting them up to speed on where they need to be with their academics and applying to DU, and trying to just cross our T's and dot our I's, so that we can hopefully be set to go for next fall.
As you see, the NHL still, we don't really know what's going to go on there yet. If you had to kind of make a fair assessment of what was going to go on after this whole thing is over, how do you think sports continues after this?
I think eventually we'll get back to, full function in athletics and in our society. It's just, it's a matter of how that's reintroduced and how long it takes to get to that point. And I think those are a lot of the, topics that create more questions than answers right now. And, the NHL is certainly motivated to come back and to try and play for very good reason. And, the hope is that sport can play a factor into the healing process of all of this. I think it is. It's why people like sports. It brings them together, gives them a sense of community. And I think once that does happen, I think it could be actually pretty emotional for people. Their first game back in a sold out building, or their first concert back. I look to sports and music that really connect people, definitely in our community here in Denver, but all across the country. So how that, I guess, gets presented and comes back to normalcy, I have no idea, and I'm probably not wise to make any predictions on it.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Coach Carle, for joining us. And make sure everyone go to 1043thefan.com to check out all our latest and new content.
Awesome. Thanks for having me on.
All the games, all the wings, all the beers, all season. No worries. Hooters.